Hello, Vinyl community. How you doing? It's Bill with the Vinyl. This is going to be part 2 to my vinyl grabs from about the last month and a half. I did part 1 about a week ago. I was hoping to do this part 2 sooner, but it didn't work out. So here I am about a week later. And in part 1, I showed everything over that time period that I picked up that was jazz related. And this is going to be everything else. And it really is a little bit of everything else. To start, I'm going to show some 45s. So, several weeks ago, on my lunch break, I went out and I went to a Goodwill. Rarely have any luck at Goodwill. There were no records there, but there was a bunch of 45s, and I said, all right, I'll go through the 45s. And I managed to pick out 4 of them, which were pleasant surprises, and here they are. So first on Apple is the Beatles, Come Together, Back with Something. This is a 1970 release. So it's not an original, but it's a repress, I guess. Then another Beatles, Hey Jude with Revolution. So that's pretty cool. This one again is not an original, but it's repress from 1975. But very cool to have these. And then I came across, it had the Atlantic sleeve. This is the Bee Gees, and it's New York mining disaster, 1941. Great Beatles track, Bee Gees track, and it's back with My World. Now this is a oldie series, Atlantic oldies series. So this is from 1972, I believe. Yeah, 1972. But that was a pretty cool find. And then the score of the day, in my opinion, was an original Doors on Elektra, Love Her Madly, back with You Need Meat, Don't Go No Further. Yeah, so this is from 1971, right? Yeah, 1971. I always thought it was cool how on Elektra 45s they used the Caterpillar, and then on the regular 12-inch release they have a butterfly. So, but this was a cool find. Love Her Madly, back with You Need Meat, Don't Go No Further, which is Ray Manzarek vocal. Not the best song, but it was actually written by Willie Dixon. So Doors version is okay, but cool to have Love Her Madly there. And then recently, a few days ago, I got this in, and it's the Monkees' Porpoise song, back with As We Go Along. This is from the movie Head. This is a pretty good pickup here. This is on Cold Gems. It's a Porpoise song. Probably my favorite Monkees song ever. And then As We Go Along, another great Monkees song from the movie Head. So 1968, the movie Head. The Monkees TV show had ended. They did this movie Head. It's kind of break out of the whole manufactured image. kind of blowing the roof off of it. It's a really the movie head is very, very interesting, psychedelic, written by Jack Nicholson and Bob Rafelson, directed by Bob Rafelson, with a lot of input from the Monkees. It's a cool film, very, very bizarre, but I happen to really enjoy it, and getting Porpoise Song single here is pretty cool. So that's it for 45s. Now on to the records here. So this first one, I picked up. This is a pretty funny story. Not funny, but a coincidental story. So I picked this up. This is Muddy Waters Folk Singer, and it is a Analog Productions quality records pressing here. This is the 33 RPM version. It they also put out a 45 RPM version, but that was a little more pricey. I went with this off the recommendation of Jeff Kempen, who I had remembered him talking about this and how he was just wowed by the sound quality of this. And I made a note that someday I'm going to pick this up. And so I did. It recently came, and it's funny, when it came, I sent Jeff a message and just a picture of it, that letting him know that I had picked it up. Here it is on the chest label there, reproduction. And the funny thing is, it turns out that I got it in the mail 1 year to the day that Jeff had mentioned it in his video. So pretty coincidental. It's pretty funny. Another cool thing, it comes with this kind of picture here with some liner notes. Now, yeah, this album, first of all, it's just a great classic album from 1960. What year? 1964. And this Analog Productions release is from 2015. So yeah, it's fantastic, and Jeff was not kidding. The sound quality of this album is really spectacular. So the clarity it's really unbelievable. The clarity and the separation, like I don't know how else to describe it. It's just a really clear sounding record. Everything just dead quiet, and his voice and the guitar just come through. It's just, clarity is the word that I would use. It's just, everything is so clear and separate from each other. It's really, really a phenomenal pressing. It's really enjoyable. So I highly recommend this. I can only imagine what the 45 RPM version sounds like. There's the stickers for you to look at. So yeah, Muddy Waters Folk Singer. Phenomenal album. Okay, then paid a visit to a local toy store that I've talked about before. That it's a kind of an antique toy store, but he has a bunch of records. And actually, a friend at work wanted to go check it out, so we went over on lunch one day, and he had fun looking around, and I picked up this. This is REM Document. This is from 1987. This is an original. This is the inner. Haven't even cleaned it yet, but this is on IRS here. Vinyl looks great. Looks really, really good. So this album, this was kind of a breakout album for them, I think. Definitely got them a lot more airplay with the song The One I Love, and then It's the End of the World as We Know It. Yeah, a lot of MTV heavy rotation with those two songs and radio play. And this kind of really is the breakout album for REM. They had a, you know, they had their college following up to this point, and then I should say college radio following, and yeah, this album came out and kind of got them a lot more notice through MTV and the radio. So that was a really good find. Okay, next. This is an album I've been wanting for a long time, just because I'm a completist, and for certain things I'm a completist. So this is Arc 2 by Flaming Youth from 1969. Yeah, 1969. And this is the band that one Phil Collins was in prior to Genesis, joining Genesis. So there's Phil again there. Also, his friend Ronnie Carroll was in the band. Ronnie actually still plays guitar with Phil in his live show to this day, when at least in the last few tours. So most of this album is nothing special, but it does have some like psych elements to it. But I'd say like pop psych, with maybe a little bit of a prog edge to it. This is also a sample copy here, so promo. It's in this Unipack gatefold here, so the record is inside here. And has the original Uni inner. And there's the label, the Uni label. So some of the songs are, I mean, you can listen through this whole thing, but some of the songs are not very good. But it's a fun listen, and Phil Collins sings vocals on a few of the songs. And of course he plays drums. So it's cool to add this to the collection here. Next, I picked up my first Can album. So this year I'm definitely going to be looking to add more Can to my collection. So this was the first one I picked up. This is a reissue. This is Future Days, which is their 5th album, and this came out, this was 1973 when it came out, and this is a 2014 reissue. There's the band. Here's the inner here. And let's see, this is on this is Spoon Records. That's the label. So yeah, I'm definitely looking to get more Can in the collection, and this album is great, really, really wonderful. Reissue is No issues with my reissue here. The reissue here. So yeah, this Future Days, great album by Can. Like I said, I'm going to be adding more Can to the collection this year. Great band, krautrock. Yeah, just really awesome. Happy to have this here. Okay, next. This is Simon Dupree and the Big Sound, and their album Without Reservations. This is a music on vinyl reissue. The original came out in 1967, and this is a 2018 reissue. Sounds wonderful. Everybody's probably asking who is Simon Dupree and the Big Sound. Well, before there were Gentle Giant, there was Simon Dupree and the Big Sound. So the Shulman brothers, Derek Shulman, Ray Shulman, and yeah, I think that's Phil Shulman. They started this band, and this is a kind of soul, pop soul maybe. Yeah, really enjoyable, but totally different from what you get with Gentle Giant. So the Shulman brothers are all very virtuosos, if you will, on different instruments, and this band had a hit, somewhat of a hit, called Kites. That's not on this album, but was released as a single. But yeah, this is really wonderful stuff. So was happy to get this. It's on Parlophone, or a reproduction of the Parlophone label there. Yeah, really good. I really enjoy this album, even though it's totally different from Gentle Giant, which I love. So Simon Dupree and the Big Sound. Originals of this are hard to find, hard to come by, and they're pricey, really pricey. Okay, speaking of Gentle Giant, I have completed the Gentle Giant discography. So this was the last one I needed. This is their very last album, Civilian. It came out in 1980. Yeah, 1980. You can see there within the Gentle Giant name there, you see in red, Civilian. So this was their last album, and for the last couple albums, they were really trying to adjust their sound and kind of prog music was kind of dying out. Punk came through, and new wave, and disco even, and they didn't really know where they fit in anymore. So the album before, they were trying new stuff, and then here's the Columbia label here. This album, they kind of they got a little more focused, and this album's pretty good. It's not the prog that their earlier albums were, but bands like Genesis and Yes, they kind of were changing with the times, and Gentle Giant was right there with them, changing with the times. So this is similar to like how Yes changed and put out 90125 in the early 80s, and Genesis with Abacab, and their self-titled album. This is along those lines, and pretty good album. Not a top 5 album by them, but pretty good. And now that I've completed the Gentle Giant discography, I think some point down the road, I think I'll do a ranking video of how I would rank their studio albums. But really happy to get this and complete the Gentle Giant discography. Okay, down to the last 2, and this is Tangerine Dream, and this is a 2016 comp called Ultima Thule. This is pretty cool. First of all, before I talk about the album, I wanted to talk about this packaging. So you have this plastic outer here, and everything is kind of embossed in the front, but it's like a felt almost. It's like a real soft, maybe not felt, but it's like a soft, I'm not sure what, but it's pretty interesting. And then you pull, you can kind of see through there, see the band. So yeah, this is a comp from 2016, and the first 2 tracks are from the band called The Ones, and that was kind of Tangerine Dream before they became Tangerine Dream. They were kind of a pop band, and so it's 2 singles on here, Lady Greengrass and Love of Mine. And to be honest, it's got a very Animals sounding. Those songs are very like Eric Burdon and the Animals. It's pretty cool to have those tracks on here. Now the others range from 1971 to 1974. There's a track Oscillator Planet Concert from 1971, and that is a really interesting and cool track. And then there's the song Ultima Thule that was put out as a single, a 7-inch single. So it's part 1 and part 2. So they included that on here. And then side B has Asteroid Agenda from 1972 and a song called Overture from 1974. So this is a pretty cool compilation that I was pretty happy to pick up. And this is a clear vinyl. Yeah, so this it's pretty cool to have. Pretty nice addition to the Tangerine Dream collection. Ultima Thule by Tangerine Dream, and this is on the Purple Pyramid label. Cool to add this to the collection. And finally, here is Tangerine Dream, The Sessions 1. And this is from 2018, so this is kind of like the new Tangerine Dream. So family member Edgar Froese, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name fully, but it's he passed away a couple years back. He kind of passed the baton on to Thorsten Quaishning, Ulrich Schnells, and Hoshiko Yamane. And they are carrying the Tangerine torch. And 2000, did I say 18? Yeah, 2018 they put out a series of albums called The Sessions, and they actually did a box set of I think 5 discs that Jamie Cottle just showed in a video of those session CDs. But this is Sessions 1, and it has 2 songs. Side 1 is Blue Arctic Danube, which was recorded live in Budapest, and then side 2 is Gladiatorial Dragon, which was recorded live in Hong Kong. So live recordings from Tangerine Dream. This is on Invisible Hands Music. And just like the previous album, this is on clear vinyl. That's the label. So it's very cool stuff. This kind of I found that the music kind of it's kind of a throwback to 70s Tangerine Dream, and really love the first track, first side, Blue Arctic Danube. Really love that song. It's doesn't have the time on here, but really great track. Now the other song, Gladiatorial Dragon, I need to listen a few more times. It didn't really connect with me the first listen. I've only listened to it once, but I need to get back to it. It was different, but side one was phenomenal. Really enjoyed that. So that's everything. I guess this ended up being a pretty long video, so thanks for sticking with me through this. So that's going to do it. I've shown everything that I've gotten over the past month and a half. Thanks for watching. If you're not aware, I do have a contest going on right now. It's called My Vinyl Community Story. Few questions that I ask, plus there's a bonus giveaway. You can get the details on my channel. Check it out if you hadn't seen my announcement video for that. The videos that have been coming in for that have been really great. There's really great responses. I've been really happy with what people are talking about in their videos. So, video responses. So everyone, thank you for watching. Thanks for being here. I really do appreciate you all. Anybody that's new, that's joined in over the past week or so, welcome aboard. Thanks for watching. I hope you stick around. Because I'll have more videos coming down the road. And I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you again soon. Take care now. Bye.